So our first exercise is our rolling hip 90-90s. So we're just rotating side to side, maintaining that 90-degree bend in the knee, keeping the feet in place and just pivoting across, working 10 repetitions in time with the video. As you can see, there's a little bit of rotation through that upper body as well. I'm touching my hand just past the knee on each rep on this first variation. So just trying to get into that flow state smoothly across side to side. Once you've completed your 10 repetitions, we're going to go into variation number 2. So slightly more difficult now. We're not going to touch down. We're just going to rotate and trying to keep the torso a little bit more erect this time. So the movement is much more solely through the hips now. We're just rotating side to side without bringing the upper body in too much. So the upper body stays erect and just rolling, same as before, maintaining the 90-degree bend in both knees and keeping the feet in place. Once you've completed your 10 reps, the third and final variation now with the roll, but really keeping the body upright, barely any movement in the torso whatsoever. So you're trying to stay facing forward, a little bit of support behind the body with the hands and just rotating, same as before, but again, keeping the body upright, trying not to allow for too much movement in that torso. Keep the breathing slow and controlled, working in time with the video. And then when you've completed your 10 repetitions, we're going to pause briefly before moving in to the next exercise. So our next exercise is going to be our static glute wall assisted hold. So as you can see, I'm putting one foot up against the wall, pressing back, and then crossing my other leg over. And from there, you're just going to go through 5 deep breaths in and deep breaths out. So each breathe in and breathe out should last around about 5 seconds. So breathing in, slow and controlled, and then breathing out. So there's a little bit of movement there just as you breathe in, coming up. And then as you breathe out, just relax through, just trying to release that tension in the glute, the backside, working that leg that's crossed over, just feeling that stretch in that crossed over leg right in the glute there. Keep that steady, controlled breathing going on. So just working 5 seconds in and then 5 seconds out. Slow, controlled breathing pattern. When you've completed 5, we then switch it over. You might find one leg is slightly stiffer than the other. Often with squash players, it's their dominant leg. But same thing again here. So it's a slow 5-second breathe in and then a slow 5-second breathe out. Just work at whatever pace feels comfortable. Just lifting slightly with the stretch as you breathe in and then releasing slightly as you breathe out. Each time just that 5 seconds, slowly breathing in and slowly breathing out. In with those 5 seconds, slow and controlled, just relaxing through, feeling that release through the glute on that bent leg crossed over. Feel it on the backside, right in the center of that glute area. Slow, controlled breathing in and out. So it's a total of around 1 minute you've done there on each leg. From there, we're going to rotate around for our final exercise. We're going to go into our adductor stretch in our what we call our butterfly position there. So soles of the feet together. I'm just going to gently press down on my knees for 10 seconds, trying to feel that stretch in the groin, in that inner thigh area. 10-second pressing down, getting that little bit of a stretch through the adductors. From there, I'm now going to bring the knees up and I'm now pushing my knees into my hands. So I'm actually tensing that muscle up now for 10 seconds. So tensing, when you've done your 10 seconds, breathe, relax, and back into a 10-second stretch. So we're going to alternate between the stretching and the contraction. So we're just stretching now, pressing down. Now we come back up. We're now pushing our knees. Imagine you're trying to bring your knees together, squeezing through the adductor, tensing that muscle up for 10 seconds. And then relax, deep breath in, 10 seconds again, breathing out into the stretch. Start to feel that little bit of a larger range of motion starting to occur as the body relaxes. 10-second pressing down, stretching out. And then we come back up, 10 seconds squeeze, pushing against your hands, keeping your hands nice and still, trying to squeeze the knees together, tensing up through the adductor muscles, and then relaxing, deep breath, pressing down again, another 10-second stretch. Again, gradually feeling that little bit more extension through each repetition. Back in again, pressing in now, 10-second contraction, squeezing together, and relaxing, deep breath, 10-second stretch again, pushing down, getting those knees as low toward the ground as you can, stretching through the inner thigh, really relaxing around that groin area, easing through the hips. Just slightly longer now on this last stretch, last area to finish on, just holding, really pressing down. And then from there, you're going to slowly relax, and that's the end of your mobility session.